Good afternoon, everyone. I apologize for not hearing me. My microphone was off, and I didn't notice that. Now we have an open price over here, and the open range gap is around 250 handles from the close price at 4:14 yesterday to open at 9:30 this morning. And on the 15-minute chart, I'm going to do a quick review. We have a relative equal lows over here around 17,970 and the 18,050, as well as yesterday's trading relative equal lows at 17,700. After the opening bell, we don't have any fair value gap formed so far. Now we are trading inside the 9:30 candle. Let's see how the market is behaving over here. So far we are trading inside this BCA over here in 15-minute chart that is coupled with the breaker block over here. To me, this morning has the potential to go below this relative equal lows over here, and after that I would like to see how the market is trading. But to me, mainly today is going to be a bearish day. Still, there is no first presented fair value gap formed after 9:30 opening bell. We have to remember that yesterday we came back from long holiday since last Thursday in the previous week, and the market after this holiday was acting quite wild with a lot of volatility. And if we look at the market over here, we see the market gave us only one opportunity with this candle that I missed, and I put the sell limit over here for going lower, but the market never touched the low of the first presented fair value gap to fill my order, and this was a kind of loss. I cannot say it's a loss, but I was feeling a little weird because only for around 1 or 2 handles I needed to get filled over here, but I couldn't. Anyway, let's get back to the price today and see how it's trading. Still, we don't have any first presented fair value gap, and we can do something on the 15-minute chart. I'd like to highlight this as a buy side liquidity that is coupled with the first presented fair value gap of April 4th. Consequent encouragement. Okay, let's see if we can have this candle over here as our first presented fair value gap at 9:37 morning time. Three minutes, 2 minutes, and yes, we have this candle over here as our PC for the first presented fair value gap. Let's see how it's acting. Is coupled with the first presented fair value gap of yesterday. Now I'm going to highlight this. We have a PC type of first presented fair value gap for today. Today is Tuesday, I apologize. Okay, we are seeing a reaction from this level over here, and I would like to set a position over here for entering long. We are trying to reach to the buy side liquidity that I mentioned, and just let me do a little getting back to the opening price of 9:30. One second. After tapping to that, yes, the buy side liquidity has been reached, and let's see how the market is behaving over here. We do have another relative equal highs on the 15-minute chart over here at 18,215. But let's see how the market is behaving right now, if it has the potential to go lower, because to me the market I would like to see lower prices. Trading just out of the first presented fair value gap of April 4th. This first presented fair value gap was kind of weird with heavy handles of inefficiency. Okay, so far we are still trading inside that inefficiency, and let's see what the market can do over here. we can see that this morning seven after 7 in the morning, the market had a little retracement lower to clear that sell side liquidity in the 15-minute chart over here, and after that the market marching for higher prices to go above, and now we are trying to reach higher prices for 18,215 as I mentioned for the buy side liquidity. The next one. Okay, I would like to cancel this here because it didn't give us the chance to get fill. We cleared the buy side liquidity of 18,250 and now we are trading in the channel 220. Still not rushing to get into any position because we have to wait for the time to give us a good position setup. So far I cannot see anything except the first candle after first presented fair value gap. That was a good run to get in for long positions. Trading back again to 230. Okay, now the price is a little indecisive over here, and let's see if it has the potential to have a little retracement to lower prices or no. Now we are trading into 15-minute CB of the 15-minute chart over here. We couldn't reach to the consequent encouragement of this CB over here, and let's see how it's trading into this. I don't like to get into the long position over here because we are already in a very expensive price for going long and higher prices. I would like to see a kind of retracement from this 15-minute CB. So far it's showing that it doesn't want to go for higher prices than the consequent encouragement. trading to the low of the 15-minute CB. Okay, now we are in the little consolidation, and let's see if the market is able to retrace lower prices or not. This could be, for those who are taking higher risks, this could be a very good entry for going higher prices and target around 20 handles, which is right above the consequent encouragement. Okay, now we are trading out of the 15-minute BC. This BC over here is also interesting to me, and I would like to see this acting as an inversion. Okay, now we are trading into the consequent encouragement of that BC, and let's see if we can close below that. Then I would like to enter for a little short position. Okay, now we closed out of the and below the FVG in 1 minute chart, and it has the potential for becoming an inversion. Let's see if this candle can reach to the consequent encouragement of this first this fair value gap. If not, I will put a short position in the next candle. Okay, 13 seconds, and I would like to go for a short position over here. Well, with the spread little far, we got filled, and let's see. SL out of the inversion fair value gap. This is a kind of risky position, so let's see how it is acting. Closing below the consequent encouragement. We have a kind of good displacement from the consequent encouragement in the 1 minute fair value gap, and let's see if it sends the price lower after reaching to the 50% of the gap. Here I'm expecting to see another big red candle within next 2 minutes. Waking up above the consequent encouragement in the inversion fair value gap and trying to see lower prices. Well, this candle is quite indecisive and it's not very favorable to me. In around 1 minute, we have a data coming out. Richmond Manufacturing Index, and here we stopped out from the first position. Okay, let's see how the market is acting over here. Reaching the consequent encroachment of the 15-minute fair value gap. 30 seconds to the data release. And here we have the data released. So far from the opening bell, the market only reached higher prices and didn't have any kind of retracement that is satisfying. So let's see if here the market is trying to keep going higher prices or not. I just put the Fibonacci to this the low of the opening range between 9:30 to 10 and the high that is formed at the candle of 10, and I measured it with the quadrants and the consequent encouragement, touching the CE of the 15-minute CB over here. And let's see if the market has the power to go and visit higher prices. It ideally the low of the new week opening gap, since we traded into this lower portion of the new week opening gap only on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Sunday trading hours. We are still trading in the 15-minute CB. Watch and look at the relative equal lows formed over here that created the sell side liquidity for us. still we don't see any kind of movement, and the price is in a consolidation phase, not moving so much. Now trading the high of the 15-minute CB and getting back into the range of inefficiency. Well, apparently we couldn't close out of the 15-minute, and here maybe we are witnessing a kind of retracement to this sell side liquidity over here. My favorite opinion about the going short is the market goes below this fair value gap over here and then clears the sell side liquidity, then has an interesting return or pullback to the inversion fair value gap and tries to reach to the first presented fair value gap. This is my ideal scenario for today's trading. But let's see. We have a kind of reaction from the consequent encouragement of the 15-minute CB, I apologize. Okay, now we closed out of the CB over here, and the next try will be, in my opinion, touching the low of this and going higher price for this new week opening gap. I set a order for going long, and let's see if it's acting and giving us a feel for going higher prices. Only one tick. For the spread in this candle, we couldn't get filled. Okay, now we got filled, and let's see how the market is behaving from here. Okay, 20 handle almost has done and a profit. The low of the new week opening gap is at 18,306 and a quarter. Just go to 3 handle, around 3 handle to the low of the new week opening gap, and let's see how the market is behaving now. Almost touching the low of the new week opening gap. Okay, we just touched the low of the new week opening gap, or maybe for 2 ticks, I think, or 1 tick. We fell short of touching it. Let's see the reaction of market over here. It is reasonable to have a kind of reaction for going lower prices after these 3 white candles, because the market cannot go directly to the target and it needs to become efficient. As you can see, we have a kind of PC over here that can give us another chance if we like to enter for going long. Let's see. Okay, we tapped into this fair value gap in the 1 minute chart and didn't touch the midpoint of it. It just touched it, and let's see how it's acting over here. The bodies of the candles are respecting the fair value gap. That is interesting to me. We tapped into the high of the 15-minute CB once more, and I'm expecting to see a kind of retracement higher for higher prices here. kind of wild price action over here, and probably we are getting stopped out. Let's see. We just fell short around, let's see how much to our target. 14.5 is 8.5 handles. And yes, here we got stopped out once again. So let's see. So far we got 2 stops out hit and nothing happened, anything else. For today I am having one more position, and I would like to kind of use that position for a good run, not a emotional run on getting third loss of the day. It's actually a little painful to see still the market is acting like this, because it fills my order and it goes high, and just for 8 handles it just turns around and even doesn't touch the low of the new week opening gap, then it turns down, and let's see how much it goes down. Something around 60 handle, just dropping down. To me, so far we are still bullish, because in the 5-minute and 15-minute I don't see any sign for getting back. In the 15-minute chart we can see the body of the candle is respecting the fair value gap, and in the 5-minute we just traded out of the 15-minute fair value gap and came back into it. So we are respecting the fair value gap, but let's see how it's acting over here. So far we traded into this fair value gap over here and traded higher, got rejection from the midpoint of the fair value gap. So we can understand the kind of this fair value gap I highlighted over here is not very important, and this one is more important than the other one because we had the reaction of market in the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap over here, and this is not an inversion, so we got back to green one. Let's see over here if we have the chance to see price trading into this fair value gap over here and then reject or not. We can consider this as an inversion fair value gap. Okay, touching the lower half of the fair value gap. I would not enter for short over here. I'm waiting for the price to give me a reaction and kind of turning point around here, because we have this inefficient red candle over here, and it is possible to go all the way up to touch the low of new week opening gap even. So I'm not rushing into the third position. Okay, as you can see, we are trying to reach the new week opening gap low. If we can retrace back to this over here, I'm interested to see market trading and getting to the low of it's around 18 and a half, 20. We are kind of respecting this fair value gap as a reclaimed fair value gap, and let's see if it tries to send the price for higher market price or not. Okay, apparently this fair value gap is not very strong, and I would like to change it to this one over here as a CB, because the bodies of the candle are respecting this CB over here, and let's see how it's reacting. If we have a kind of displacement lower, I would like to enter for seeing lower prices, but I need to wait and see the market reaction over here, as the next trade is my last trade of the day. Okay, the bodies of the candle are respecting this CB formed over here. Now I require a kind of displacement, a big red candle. Now I would like to enter for a short over here in this candle. I'm using this PC as an inversion and targeting the sell side liquidity over here. We just got filled, and let's see. Now I'm setting the stop loss above the body of this candle that created the CB in 1 minute chart, and let's watch the price. I entered in this position for short based on the fair value gap that is formed over here. I consider this as a inversion fair value gap, and because we saw the body of the candle are respecting this CB over here, and it's sending the price lower with the big candles. So once we traded in this fair value gap, I got short, and I'm just waiting for the market to see its reaction. To me, this equal lows over here are very interesting, and they're grabbing the price and the market to catch this price level at 18,200 almost. Let's make it 200 so it's a more beautiful number. One more tick. Alright, now we just need to sit down and watch the price and how it's acting. Trying once again to reach the inversion fair value gap that I entered for short. The bodies of that candle respected the inversion fair value gap. the big red candle over here. I'm trying to send price lower. We touched the consequent encouragement of the 15-minute fair value gap. At this point, I'm bringing down my stop loss just above the fair value gap over here, and let's see how it's acting. This low over here should be purged without any problem within the next candle. Once again, the candles are trying to trade to the high of the 15-minute CB. Are we going to stop out in the third position also or no? We just tapped into the inversion fair value gap once again, and let's see how the market is reacting. Yes, the third position also got stopped out, and for today I have no other positions, so I'm just watching the price and see how it's reacting over here. Kind of feel like after stopping me out, the price is trying to go lower. I don't know, let's see. We are trading into the fair value gap in BC, and let's see how it's acting from here. Well, this is a kind of second trade, and let's see how much we went in profit. Around 633 handles, and it didn't go more than this. Now we are just watching the price because I got 3 losses for this session, and for today I'm done trading. It feels quite sad, and honestly it sucks. If you lose, no one likes losing, but I'm looking at this as a price for learning how the price is reacting to my understanding, and sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. So far for today we didn't have a good chance. Price tried to reach our TPs twice and it turned back without touching our TPs. So it's not something bad. Sometimes the price is reacting like this, and since I'm trying to make this as my business, I have to accept it. Now I'm in a learning stage, and all of these are normal. So I accept my losses. If my study journey and my strategy is telling me I can trade 3 trades per day, and I already used all of them, and the result was negative. I didn't have any winning trade. I was very close to winning trades, but I couldn't catch any. So I have to get in, and I have to stay here and watch the price and practice much more in order to become more profitable and trust my model. This is the only way. Now we see that the low of the new week opening gap just got hit and traded through. Let's see if we have the power to go on trading to the low of the first presented fair value gap of April 10th. We are almost touching the low of the first presented fair value gap of April 10. Let's see. I will be here more or less 15-20 more minutes and see how the price is reacting and study the price action in the live market. Touching the low of the new week opening gap. Okay, here we do have a kind of fair value gap that is coupled with the low of new week opening gap. I would like to I cannot put any order, but consider this as an entry for going long, and it can be an institutional entry, the real order flow. Consider this as a fair value gap that is interesting to send price for around 340 level. This is also coupled with the breaker block over here, low, high, lower, low, low, high, lower, low, and this last white candle as our breaker block. So we can put also this line over here for our breaker line and see how it's reacting to these levels. Now we are trading inside the fair value gap in 1 minute chart, and I don't see any inefficiency on the 5 minute. There is only one inefficiency over here if you pay attention. Still trading and respecting the fair value gap and breaker block, and around the low of the new week opening gap for this week. I'm interested to see a kind of reaction, a good reaction upward for this fair value gap over here, sending the price to 340 level. But since I had 3 trades today, I cannot put any entry over here. I'm just watching and studying the price action. So far we see a good reaction and a run from the fair value gap and the breaker block. The breaker block over here that I considered is this low, high, and lower low than this low, and the last the last white candle over here is considered as my breaker block, the close of this candle, and I coupled this with the fair value gap that is formed over here. I'm expecting these two together with the new week opening gap low send price higher. So let's see how the market is behaving. Honestly, right now I even don't feel that bad about my losses. I have to get back to the chart later and study why it happened and why what was the reasons I failed in my trades, because two of my trades today were going pretty well. I was really happy with them, but they fell short a little bit and got back to hit my stop loss. You can see the market now traded into the first presented fair value gap of April 10th. Now we are trading higher, and this is a good run as I was expecting. Let's see, the high of this candle is around 330, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 330 even. And I was expecting to see a run to 340. I was saying that even right now I'm not feeling very upset or sad for my losses. This is part of the game. I have to cope myself with this situation because I'm planning to put this business as a breadwinner for my life and for my family. So I have to accept these losses. Later, I have to go back to the charts and study what was the reason exactly that I lost. Because two of these trades, as I mentioned, were pretty good. They were planning and they were trading towards my target, and after that, I don't know, something happened in the market apparently and feel my didn't feel my TP and turned back to hit my stop loss. 3.5 more handles to hit the 340 level for me here. As you see, I'm waiting for that. But now there is a kind of fair value gap over here that can be acting as another entry for pyramiding or getting into the position. If you are interested, on your responsibility. I'm targeting around 20 handles from 225 to 240. That is my interest. I'm sorry, 340. That is my interest. Now we are trading kind of indecisive at this point in the market, and market is trying back to reach the BC fair value gap that is hit right now. I expect to see run higher from this as we are reaching to the macro time window that is between 10:50 to 11:10 New York local. It is also possible to test again this breaker block over here, and after that sending the price higher. So far the candles are respecting the fair value gap and with their bodies, and let's see how we are trading over here. The high of this candle is happened at 18,337 and a quarter, which is around 2 handles and 3 quarters away from the level of my interest at 340. Let's see if we are getting up there or not. So far we closed below the fair value gap in 1 minute chart, and it may have the potential to become an inversion, but we have to be patient and get more insight from the market. We traded into the breaker block over here. And probably into this fair value gap, yes. That is now acting as an inversion. If you like seeing this type of content, you can always come back to my trading channel on YouTube, because every day I'm going live and reviewing and studying live price action in the Nasdaq contract June market. You can join me and study to me. Going back to the fair value gap that I mentioned and acted as an inversion. Let's see if it can send the price lower, because right now we are interested in that. We respected the consequent encouragement level of this inversion fair value gap. Now I'm expecting to see big red candles lower. We respected with the body the fair value gap, and now we are trading lower. I'm expecting to see big red candles over here. So far the market doesn't show any good displacement up or down, but I'm more into displacement of lower prices. So let's see if we have the chance to go and visit lower prices over here. Traded above the fair value gap, but we failed to go above this high over here. This is the high that was failing to reach 340 level. That was my interest, and we booked at 340 level right now, and the consequent encouragement of the PC on April 10th. We do have the new day opening gaps over here, as well as the high of the new week opening gap for current week. But let's see how the market is behaving over here. It's quite interesting watching the price reacting like this to me, even though today wasn't a very good day for me and I had 3 losses, but this is part of the game and I'm not angry or upset. I have to become strong in my studies, in my practices, and I'm so happy and grateful that I have this chance to watch the price and learn in this safe environment on the demo account, for having a better understanding for the time that I'm getting into the market. I have a more solid plan for trading. Okay guys, my level of interest at 340 was touched over here, as I was expecting from this fair value gap and this breaker block over here, but not in the first try, and it came back to the blocker block once more, and after that with a good run reached to the level I mentioned beforehand. So this is quite interesting to me. Let's see if I was entering over here low of this candle and the maximum drawdown would be 16.5 handles, and after that how long did it take for us to reach here? Around 16 minutes. That is quite considerable and very few time. That's very interesting. I have to work a little bit more on myself, on my strategies and my patience. Fight a lot with my greed, because I'm quite greedy. Maybe in my second trade, if I wasn't greedy over here, I could get out in this candle, but my plan, my strategy is telling me to get out in 40 handles run, and which is around here for only 8.5 or something like that handles. I missed this target, and my stop loss got hit in this candle over here. You can see the market was turning in a turning point around here and reacted to see higher prices once more. Once in this fair value gap BC over here, I got into the trade as it was going below, and I considered this BC as an inversion fair value gap. It went lower, but because I was acting quite greedy and I set my TP over here, I didn't get out, while I could get out in this candle over here, or at least bringing my stop lower. I did bring my stop lower, but I wasn't expecting that this big red candle over here is covered back immediately and very soon with these 3 4 candles in white. That was quite unexpected to me, which taught me market is always unexpected and I shouldn't trust it always. I cannot fight with the market. I have to cope myself with the market and follow as it is presented to me. So overall, for me today was quite good day. I learned my lessons, and this breaker block over here with this fair value gap and this fair value gap coupled with the new week opening gap low were the best setup that you could take for today. This shows patience always pays, but I'm not very good in being patient. That's why I got 3 losses. I hope you all guys have very good trading and be profitable. I will be back with you tomorrow at 9:20. I hope so, or 9:30. Let's see for the opening bell. I will try to catch you tomorrow. Till seeing you hi again. Have a good evening and goodbye.